Hello everyone. For my English 105 Humanities project, I went to see the film Sicario. It was directed by Denis Villeneuve with the screenplay by Taylor Sheridan, and the leading actors in the film were Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin, and Benicio del Toro. Denis Villeneuve has also directed Incendies, Prisoner, and Enemy, so he's no stranger to the action thriller genre. But the film Sicario, based on its reviews already, is definitely his best yet. So as soon as the first scene begins, there's already a pounding percussion in the background, letting the audience know that you're in for an intense experience. And the film really grips the attention of its audience for the entire 2-hour duration, as it follows FBI agent Kate Macer, which is played by Emily Blunt, on this completely new task in her field of law enforcement. So Villeneuve manages to convey this brutal topic of the drug war at the US and Mexican border in a raw and artistic manner that conveys genuine tensions that fuel the fire of this war. The cast is star-studded. Emily Blunt is a Golden Globe winner, accompanied by other Academy Award nominees and winners. So one of the first most important elements that showed through in the film was Villeneuve's attention to cinematic detail. It borderlines worship. The whole film was composed of breathtaking landscape views of the southwestern United States and artistic aerial views that build up the tension to some of the most explosive scenes. And the cinematography makes the audience feel as if you're right beside the characters. You feel as if you're bouncing along in the police vehicles as they tear through the streets of Juarez, Mexico. And all of the sound effects, like the percussion that initially opened the movie and helped build up the tension, continues throughout the film to maintain that level of tension and to keep the audience's heart pounding the whole time. So all of these elements together allowed Villeneuve to create a completely unparalleled cinematic experience in comparison to most other action films. And beyond the cinematography, the real treasure of the movie was Emily Blunt's emotionally raw performance. Her actions and expressions just show the tension of her internal struggle throughout the movie, and she's not the typical cliche G.I. Jane female war character in the movie. She is a headstrong female battling her way through a male-dominated group, but you can see the emotional toll that this takes on her throughout the movie as she tries to maintain this moral ground, but it's slowly stripped away from her throughout the movie. And Emily Blunt really portrays how the betrayal and the secrecy takes a toll on the character's mentality and her emotional state. In another poignant aspect of the film is the overwhelming amount of violence throughout the film. So audiences really have to be aware of how rampant the violence is in this film. And even though it does seem a bit excessive, the director is clearly using this violence as a metaphor, and while it does really push the boundaries, Villeneuve is showing how the task force within the film is also pushing the boundaries and maybe even overstepping where they shouldn't to take drastic measures against the drug cartels within the film. So I think this choice of the inclusion of so much violence is an artistic one, and Villeneuve is attempting to send a message through the explosive violence throughout the film. And he's really trying to force audiences to open their eyes to the gravity of the situation, of a very real problem that the film is portraying. So Sicario overall is grippingly detailed, and when walking out of the theater, all of the audience members were silent. It's a very haunting film, and it's a film that makes audience members think, and it's going to stick with you for a couple days after viewing the film. Between the precise cinematography, the emotionally gritty performance of the actors, and just the incredulous amount of violence throughout the film, but it's clear that the director has no fear with pushing the boundaries, and he's really trying to force the American audience to recognize the brutal problem of this drug war with Mexico that's right at its doorstep, right along the US-Mexican border. So the film is a must-see for anyone who is brave enough to seek the raw truth on this issue and withstand a very intense 2-hour performance.